What maybe will have to change in the next government under Modi is perhaps more of an equal distribution of economic progress, particularly when it comes to the jobs market. And I'm interested as to whether technology will be a solve for that in some way.
Yeah, I would reckon so. See, this is going to be a coalition government because the BJP, which is led by the Prime Minister Modi, has not got a majority of its own. They have got 293 seats along with other partners which contested the elections together. And the opposition alliance has got 232 seats. So it's not a clear majority. It's going to be it's a return of the country to coalition politics. Many would think that, technology decisions, business decisions, reforms would get slowed down. But that may not be the case all the time. If you look at the history of Indian politics, the coalition governments have delivered better on reforms. The most transformative reforms, if you look at which have happened since the last 76 years when India became independent, have been in the year 1991 when the government, it was a minority government actually, not even a coalition government, headed by the Prime Minister Narasimha Rao, with Dr. Manmohan Singh, the former Prime Minister who was the finance minister, and when the financial economic reforms happened in the country. So those have been the most transformative reforms. But I think most of the coalition governments have delivered better actually on the reforms process and have met the business expectations better, contrary to the popular belief.
So we've just been carrying Boeing's mission on CST-100 into space. I think we're going to get to India's space ambitions. We've reflected on this program about Modi's open arms to those working on artificial intelligence. But he ran on a business-friendly policy platform, right? In the coalition scenario, is he going to be able to carry through with that, as he would otherwise have done were he to have a majority himself?
So I would believe so. If you look at the Prime Minister Modi's party, BJP's election manifesto, they talked about many things. They've talked about artificial intelligence mission, the AI mission. They've talked about having a national quantum mission. Since you're talking about space, they've talked about the first human space flight mission that government is voted to power, and they have been voted to power, although with a thinner majority, they're going to embark upon. They've also talked about having an Indian astronaut on moon, and the Prime Minister has been very upbeat about the space mission. If you look at the American company SpaceX, their parlays with the Indian government, there have been some changes in the FDI policy, the foreign direct investment policy, to accommodate the genuine business aspirations. So I would feel that there's a huge amount of focus in several areas, defense technologies, semiconductors, space, telecom, and various sectors. There's a huge amount of, and I don't think that's slowing down at all with a coalition government vis-a-vis a government having a majority of its own.
Jayant, just briefly, we talk about India a lot in the context of homegrown big technology services companies, but largely big companies coming to India to invest. What about the venture capital ecosystem? What about startup culture? Is that going to be flourishing under the new government, do you think?
See, one thing is very clear. Whichever government comes to power in India, there is a certain continuity in the economy, in the reforms process, in being friendly to the business community, and so on and so forth. I don't see that slowing down, at all. So I think. There are several sectors, if you look at defense itself. So one difference is India should no longer be seen as a low-cost back office destination.
Right.
I think major financial powers all over the world have to look at co-developing and co-producing with India. I think that is gone are the days when you give components to us, we assemble it, leveraging our cheaper manpower and deliver. I think we have to have a role in the development process, in the research and development space, and then co-manufacture. Okay. I think that is going to be a genuine win-win between developed countries like the US and India. That's what I would feel.